Okay, everybody got their towels and swimsuits? We have about an hour and a half. I suggest you all go potty now, and then we will congregate on the partay bus. Fun on wheels. Only way to travel. Besides a flying nimbus. Or a stone pillar. That's right, y'all. It's been a scorcher of a summer out there, and today is beach day. I am wearing my bathing suit under my short. Oh, good thing I am not filming this. Roy would not want you to see my little boy Goku penis. Let's see your penis. Okay, all right. Quite the start to this episode, Evan. As always, you can edit that out if you want. You know, my producer Evan calls me up the other day, and he says to me, "Where's the fucking July episode? You piece of shit! Should have had it first week of July." I said, "Well, you know, I was busy. I had the Nashville thing. I had the work thing going on." He says, "All right, listen, you gotta get it to me because I have a real life I need to get back to. I'm not on your schedule. You're on mine, bucko." I was like, oh, okay. But, I said, listen, I don't know if the listeners are really gonna care too much. If I don't do the Dundies episode this month again, if I just push it back, and maybe I'll do a different episode. He says, "You've been talking about the Dundies episode for 4 months." I said, "Well," he said, "and what listeners? There are no listeners." I said, "Well," he said, "Listen to me. You gotta get yourself together. All you do is talk about Dragon Ball, and then you talk about The Office. You don't even relate the two shows together." I said, "Well," he said, "if you don't get it right this time, I'm gonna come down there and show you in person how to do a proper episode." I said, "Well, okay." So here we are. I'm getting back to work. I'm going to try to get this thing right. Hopefully this can be my Vegeta redemption arc episode. So, over the gums and through the lips, look out stomach. Here we go. In light of Vegeta and Trunks being such disappointments, and hearing that Goku currently is training to defeat him, Cell has the idea to give the Earthlings some extra training time and throw a tournament of his own. The Cell Games. In 10 days, anyone from around the world can come and challenge him. The winner gets a big prize. The winner gets regional manager salary for a year and a Sebring and the feeling that they are making the difference in the world. It will be a one-on-one fight, all versus Cell. Vegeta and Trunks say that they will use the Room of Spirit and Time again to do some sales call drills. Krillin takes number 16 to get repaired at Capsule Corporation in New York. And we see Cell start to make the Cell Arena out of, he crushes this mountain into this really nice, fine-looking stone. Much more professional looking than the horrible CGI of the Firewalk. You know what I'm talking about. We all know what I'm talking about. There's even giant tiki torches on each corner of the ring, and you can run around with a spoon and an egg, have some races. Cell says, "Screw corporate, in fact. Screw their consultants. I can make a better local ad myself for this thing." And he goes right down to the TV station, spin moves right past the receptionist, marches into the studio, gives a Jim look right into the camera, tells the world about his friendly office competition. He gives the coordinates, which you guys will never believe is the real-life location of the northeast corner of scenic Lake Scranton. And then he just blows up the city, Piccolo Daimao style. Needless to say, the geniuses at corporate rejected his commercial. So to quickly flip through my Rolodex of some exposition, Goku and Gohan are done with the Room of Spirit and Time, whereas Piccolo, Vegeta, and Trunks are going to continue to use it. Tenshinhan says he's not even going to bother training because you've got your sheep and you've got your black sheep, and he's not even a sheep, man. He's on the freaking moon. So Goku actually goes and visits Cell, tells him not to kill anybody else on Earth, and he promises that he'll fight him. And he also realizes that he does not have the power it takes to defeat the monster. Some days pass, and eventually the royal defenses attack Cell to no avail, and Cell kills everyone. Now, this gives Goku the idea to make a new Dragon Ball set, so he calls up the 10th Agency on New Namek and tells them, I will pay any amount, just give me Dende. Give him to me. And here we are also introduced to the Nate of Dragon Ball, Mr. Satan, a champion of the people with a name that I can get behind. So Dende comes, he restores the Dragon Balls with a plot hole number of wishes. Now, the number makes sense if we're talking in pies, but otherwise it just doesn't add up. And the days go by like a herd of turtles. And finally, the time has come. Everyone is incredibly worried because the new Dragon Balls won't be able to revive anyone who has already died, which is most of the classic gang, as Michael would say. That's Goku, Krillin, Yamcha, Tenshin Han, Piccolo, Vegeta. A regular Ocean's 11. Mr. Satan arrives first, Vegeta next, then Android number 16, and then the Dragon Team, or maybe Team Dragon, I should say, in this case. And everybody looks very much like our Dunder Mifflin family with their beach chairs and their towels and sunglasses. And Goku wants to pick a team name, suggesting the red team. Vegeta says no, he'll be the blue team. And it is here that a group of Americans will undergo the ultimate challenge. One day, 14 strangers who work together, but only one survivor. Just words. Some inspirational words. Son Gohan. Pros: smart, cool, good looking. Remind you of Goku, maybe. Cons: not a hard worker. Goku can spend his whole life getting stronger, and Gohan will get there by age 10. So that should tell you something. Goku is an obvious candidate to beat Cell. He has the best fight record in the office. He loves to fight. He is, however, an idiot, which I fear will work against him in a number of situations. I am also considering Piccolo because of all the good that green people have done for America. And Vegeta. Pros: he's a prince. He gets me. He went to Namek. I trust him. Cons: I don't really trust him. Now, Mr. Satan, he is the epitome of Team USA. He puts on his sumo suit and charges Cell out of nowhere, only to be sent flying to float in a lake in the background for the rest of the tournament. Next, or technically first, to fight is Goku. Now, he immediately charges Cell too, but more like Stanley when he charges Jim. I've never seen a look like that in a man's eyes ever. We get an awesome fight for a handful of chapters, and this is definitely one of the great animated episodes in the anime. It all comes to a climax when Goku looks like he's going to destroy the world himself, until he uses instantaneous movement to get underneath Cell and fire an enormous Kamehameha upward. And if Goku were more like Michael, he would say, "Say goodbye to your little head." You know what happens when you blast off Cell's head? Well, I will answer your question with a question. It is like what happens to a chicken when you take away its head. It dies. Unless you find a new head. And that's just what Cell does. His body hops right back up and regenerates. Goku tries using Vegeta's technique. You all know what I mean. But Cell makes a force field out of all the customer complaint cards. Green in color, in fact. Vegeta and Trunks are now bickering like Ryan and Dwight during the egg spoon race, until Goku blows everyone's mind by saying he loses and pulls himself out of the tournament. Now, Goku then goes ahead and writes his letter of congratulations and says the next person to fight is the only one who's going to be able to win, and that's his son Gohan. Goku was really giving it his all, but to Gohan it looked like he was barely trying, because Gohan is on such a higher level. Goku truly believes in how incredible Gohan has gotten over the years, especially after training with him in the Room of Spirit and Time. Everyone is rightfully skeptical of Goku sending his young son to death, but Goku says that he can bring peace to the world, so he can grow up and be done with all this fighting and be a scientist like he's always wanted. Gohan agrees to give it a try. Then Goku infamously gives Cell the Senzu, which we all know is the equivalent of eating 84 hot dogs. Now, Vegeta gets incredibly jealous of the young Gohan, like Dwight gets jealous of Ryan the Temp throughout those early seasons. Gohan's able to hold his own against Cell and tells him that they shouldn't even do this. He doesn't like fighting and he doesn't want to kill anybody, even if it's someone as awful like Cell. He thinks his dad was banking on him getting that rage we all know him for, like that time he punched a hole in the wall. So Cell says, well, let's see that rage, and takes the offensive. He fires a barrage of Frieza's death beams until he can get behind Gohan and grapple him. In comes the awesome scene of Goku and Piccolo, one of my favorite exchanges in the whole series. Piccolo saying, I'm fucking done watching this. I'm going down there and saving this boy. And Goku says, no, Piccolo, you guys don't understand. We need Gohan to freak out. I have a plan. Piccolo says, does Gohan know about this plan? Does Gohan know what you want him to do? Or is he sitting down there thinking, why is my father watching me be killed? His little 10-year-old boy be murdered while I'm screaming for help. And he's just letting it happen. And Piccolo's not going to let it happen. And Goku realizes, I am a fucking idiot, actually. Aren't I? It's a great scene, but before anyone can even do anything, there's the awkward as hell moment where Gohan's shirt starts to ride up and we see his little belly. Meredith sees them all being all cute, making things incredibly awkward, and Cell puts Gohan down, and then Cell charges for the Z Fighters. Classic gang. He doesn't attack, though. Cell instead snatches the Senzu and hints at doing something until android number 16 comes out of the sidelines and walks right across those burning hot coals. However, it doesn't amount to anything at all, because Bulma and her father actually removed his fire-resistant boots, and it's just a huge embarrassment, and Cell blasts him to tiny pieces, and he just writhes around on the floor, crying out for help. Cell then pops out 7 Cell Juniors, let's call them Scott's Tots, to challenge the classic game to a hot dog eating contest. Now, luckily, there's enough hot dogs for everyone to be able to beat the world record, which is good because the Cell Juniors are not holding back. Yamcha asks for mustard, to which the Cell Juniors all scream, no mustard, no mustard. And one breaks Yamcha's arm so that he can't even lift the hot dogs to his mouth anymore. Gohan now realizes that his friends, if they eat too much, they might just keel over and die, and the Dragon Balls won't be able to resurrect them again. The head of number 16 gets tossed over like a beach ball by the champion of the world, whose name is Satan. And he's able to give Gohan a little pep talk about the rules of business. He gets to number 2, adapt, react, readapt. But before he can say apt, Cell crushes his head. Now Gohan will never know all 10 rules, leading him to break past the cubicle wall of the Super Saiyan. Gohan, with his new big haircut, from henceforth shall be known as Big Haircut. He finally goes ballistic, and we get a bunch of great panels of all the Cell Juniors' heads getting cut off and exploding. Far and away the most expensive shot of the movie. He also steals the Senzu back from Cell and tells Trunks to spread them around evenly, leaving Trunks to ask, "What does a bean mean?" Gohan starts making an absolute mockery of Cell. He even puts his stapler in Jello again. Cell fires a blast with all of his "you're hardly my first" energy, but you'll never be able to slide one past Gohan while he's in this state. That's what you said! In a last-minute scream, blowing half of Cell's limbs off. Now Cell is fucking pissed because that is a $200 plasma screen TV Gohan just killed. So Cell regenerates and gets overly huge and buff. Trunks says, "Yeah, okay, I did that. Rookie mistake." Gohan dodges all of Cell's moves and kicks him in the head harder than Charles Minor can kick a soccer ball. Cell says that if Gohan is saying that he has to go back to his second form, then he is going to throw up. Okay, he is throwing up. Gohan made Cell throw up number 18, and Cell has reverted back to his imperfect state. Suddenly, Cell starts to balloon up like a caricature of a pig man eating pizza. But he is beautiful. I said, I'll blow up the world. Bing, bang, boom. Goku looks around at all the faces he knows and knows what he must do. He says good night and good luck to his Scranton branch and teleports over to Gohan and Cell. He looks at his son and says, "Hey, I know what you're looking for, but I gotta be honest, I really don't think I should be considered as your replacement. On Thursday, I'm gonna drive down and interview with David for the open position in New York." He grabs Cell and teleports right to Wallace's office. David just sighs like Jan and accepts his fate. But don't worry, now him and his monkey Bubbles will have time to create music and a military-grade vacuum. Everyone is obviously feeling heartbreak in the break room, yet also feeling relieved that the threat is over, until Cell is immediately back and kills Trunks just as Trunks was starting to think he might be good at this manager thing, even though he's never made a sale. Why the fuck is Cell even still alive? Wasn't he looking at WebMD this morning? Well, sometimes all the body needs to heal itself is to be promoted. Promoted to super perfect form. There's an explanation about the nucleus in his head, but who knows? It's nebulous. So he's back with the Zenkai boost and can even teleport like Goku. And all I can say is, oh, how the turntables. Then the night got deathly quiet, and Vegeta's face lost all expression. He starts freaking out and using Vegeta's technique of throwing pint glasses at the wall after watching his son get killed before his eyes. It's ultimately ineffective, and Cell knocks him away, following it up with an enormous ki blast. Gohan dives for the save, but ends up burning his arm on a George Foreman grill. Now his arm looks like mailboxes, etc. Cell charges up everything he has left for one last final Kamehameha, screaming that he's gonna blow the whole solar system, that's what she said. Gohan is ready to just quit and start his own paper company, until suddenly he hears the voice of his father from the afterlife. He talks some sense into his boy and convinces him to quit this boring Staples job, come back to Dunder Mifflin. Gohan says he'll do what he can with one arm, and the two fire away at each other in the biggest beam struggle of all time, Gohan feeling his presence of his father behind him. The beam struggle is the size of the world's largest egg roll. Do you really think they're that big? And it's gonna rip apart the whole world. In one corner, you have Gohan, and he is mad. In the other corner, you have Cell, and he is mad. Goku keeps telling Gohan to push past his limits. Gohan, the prices have never been lower! Ryan the Temp throws an egg at Cell's face to create a small distraction. Suddenly, another man's presence is behind Gohan with Goku, as Michael says the words, "The mind has to wrap around the foot." Gohan unleashes all of his rage, all of his power, all four of his weapons: Basher, Thrasher, Crasher, and Fireball. Cell's insides spill out on the floor like Kevin's chili. The world is safe for real this time. and everyone feels like they just ran barefoot over flaming hot coals, finally getting over the fact that no one came to the art show. Gohan was amazing, and has made everybody unbelievably proud, especially his father, even though he is still looking for someone with a sales background. All right, everyone. Kind of a shorter episode and borderlining on fan fiction, but I hope it was fun. I know it was very Dragon Ball focused, but I think I made about 4,000. Yeah, I'm looking at the number here. 4,017 Office references. So I broke my record of the last episode. I do hope that was fun. I hope you had a blast. I hope you had a key blast. And I'll see you here next month. Take care of yourself, take care of others, and may God guide you on your quest. Please let me know what you thought of this one in the comments, although I will not be taking any questions. Are there any questions?